guys, it's Rainbow.
And Cody.
And we are back this week with another marriage video. Fun stuff. Last week we did the intro video and you can check that out in a link below. And this week we were thinking that we want to talk about honesty a little bit and what that looks like for us and
why it's important.
And what role it plays in the relationship. So, yeah.
Well, to me personally, I know honesty is probably one of my most important things, because if you can't be honest with me, then I don't really know who you are. And if I don't know who you are, then who am I married to?
Yeah, honesty is such a huge thing, especially in the beginning, because I don't know, it wasn't a hard thing for us. Like, I don't think it was hard for us to really be honest.
A lot of people aren't completely honest with everything, but we are. Like, all of my stupid ex-girlfriend stories, my silly things I've ever done with all my friends. Like, a lot of people don't know everything about each other's pasts, and as far as my memory goes, you know everything about mine. And if I remember it, I've told you at least twice.
Yeah. And I think kind of trust and honesty go hand in hand, because you have to trust that the person is telling you everything as well.
Yeah.
But also, I think for us, maybe why honesty is so easy for us, this may sound weird, but, and these, just warning, these posts are about marriage, they are adult, and adult content appropriately could be discussed here, so you are warned. Anyway, for us, I think a lot of why it was so easy for us is, like, we are really open about our bodies, which is, for some people, the most vulnerable part about a relationship is, like, for example, like
pooping with the door open.
or sex with the lights off and then getting dressed right after. Like, Cody and I aren't like that.
No.
We're very comfortable with our bodies. Like, seeing him in his natural form is completely casual to me. It's just like seeing myself. Like, we made ourselves as comfortable as you could be with somebody. We are, in that sense. And
it's not like it's something unnatural or weird. It's kind of how I came, and it's kind of how I am. And
we allowed it. Like, we didn't let society's kind of taboos about it affect us. We really let ourselves explore that area. We let ourselves ask questions and get the answers and figure stuff out together. And I think that really helped in the aspect of just relationship building, because it took away one of the most vulnerable parts and just allowed us to feel comfortable with each other, so that we could open up about the really deep stuff and the other not so
If you
deep
can't
stuff.
Share what's on the outside, how are you supposed to share what's on the inside?
Exactly.
Perfect.
But yeah, no, we were so. Yeah, to me, honesty is really the foundation of any relationship. I don't know how people can get married without being honest with each other, because, for example, we know several, we see it every day on TV, with people we know, people at the supermarket, or people are just not honest with each other. Like, even family members we know, their relationships are not, like, little white lies they think are harmless, or they just don't see the need to tell the other person. And I understand separate lives and converging into one, but I think it's really important to tell each other to know those separate lives, so you know who that whole person is. Because
another thing with that too is, if you start with the really little lies, like, oh, I told you I wasn't going to drink any more pop, and then when I was at work I drank a Coke or whatever. Yeah. Like, it starts with the little things. Yeah, that's not important, but what if you find that Coke bottle in my vehicle or whatever, and then it gets it in your head. You're like, okay, so he lied about this. It's like an avalanche. The snowball starts going. Oh, if he said stopped drinking pop and he's still drinking pop. What else is he doing?
He told me
And
he
then
was
you-
stopping and he wasn't doing this anymore, and then you wonder. And then that just starts a whole pile of unhealthy things, because then sometimes whoever's on the receiving end of the finding out starts to think, okay, so what else is he hiding? And they start to maybe get snoopy or start to get paranoid and start digging into it. Affects trust, and because like that, I don't need to be digging through his Facebook or something, or digging through his drawers or cupboards.
But even on the same level as that, I don't find any of those, I don't protect any of those things because I don't feel the need to. Like, I see a lot of people where even they won't let their wife play with their phone. Like, it's,
Oh my
I don't
goodness,
know.
yeah.
Even if there's nothing to find on there, just,
Getting rid of that, just even that protectiveness with your spouse for your own belongings and own things, really, in my opinion, shouldn't be there.
yeah.
If you have a total open and honest relationship, everything on the table, there should be no, oh no, this is mine. Like, what are you doing going through that? Like there should be no grilling or...
There obviously should be some level of privacy,
Yeah.
but you should never feel the need to hide it. Like, I mean, if you were searching through my Facebook for messages from 2 years ago, it'd be like, well, why is she doing that? That's
Yeah,
kind of silly.
that's when the
But
other...
in the same thing, you know all my passwords and all my information, where I keep everything in my drawers, where my stuff is.
As part of the trust,
But
I don't see any
I-
need to do anything with
I
it.
don't expect you to look through it, but I know you know it's there.
And that's another part, is the other person, you shouldn't be looking through and digging for stuff either, because that just means that you've got issues that you need to work out with that other person.
Because if you see that Facebook status, or not status, but like message or whatever it is, from months before the two of you got together or started dating, goes to a different girl or whatever, and that,
It just starts unnecessary drama in a relationship. I really dislike stuff like that. Drives me crazy.
you should always be in the now anyway. Like,
Yeah.
digging through the past is always a kind of a silly thing for me.
We
at
tell
least.
each other about the past, but we're always so casual about it. We're very... The past, it is what it is. It's happened, it's gone, it's not our future, it doesn't, most of the time, it doesn't affect the now, and
There's always lessons to be learned in it too. Like,
you help each other learn those lessons. Sometimes we hold regrets of what we've done in the past, or we have insecurities about it, or we're sad about it, and being honest with each other can help work through it.
yeah.
Because that's what this person is. Like, you are my everything in my life. You're the person that just pulls me through. You're constantly pulling each other up this rope, and I have to let you help me. And
those little lies, or even if it's not necessarily a lie, but hiding of truths, are like the little embers that eat away at the rope.
completely.
Because one of them might not do that much damage, but once enough of them build up, you're going to burn clear through the rope and you're both going to fall.
And kind of just shifting views on that, even if you're telling somebody, like, if I tell him everything, if I tell you everything, there's nothing in your mind that could be like, maybe she is hiding something from me, because she's like, you would be like, well, she tells me everything. So if it's important, or if I need to know, she's going to tell me.
Yeah.
And that allows us to give each other our own space too when we need it. Because if we're honest with each other, we're open, then we're like, okay, I'm kind of suspecting this thing, but I haven't heard about it from her or him yet, so I'll let that person come to me when they're ready. Because sometimes, without trust and without an honest relationship, that gets to the grilling and then defensiveness, which in turn closes off a person.
Yeah.
Because I think we all have tendencies, and we really easily get defensive. It's just kind of human nature.
Trust takes time to build, too. If you're just getting into a relationship or just starting out a marriage, not that we've been together for so long, but you can't expect everything right away, but I don't think it's unreasonable to expect everything eventually.
Yeah, like you shouldn't. Yeah, it's not going to be in the first month of dating, like that's a little thing, but
On the second date, you come with your list of all your
checklist.
past, okay, these are all the people I dated. That's ridiculous. But
Your sleep number?
I think to be honest about every aspect of what you like, what you don't like, even about you or whoever it is, like, is important. If I don't like your mom or your friend or whatever, hiding it doesn't help anything.
No, it just makes it worse. And that doesn't mean you need to be like, I hate your mom. That just means to be like, listen, I'm struggling with this area. Like, you can be nice about it, and that's, I think, just...
And there are always ways around things. If I don't like your mom, you know not to invite me over to her house for dinner. Like, it's not a...
Or I know not to put you in an awkward situation where it's gonna be an intimate dinner setting. Like,
Yeah.
at least if, let's go somewhere, if mom needs to meet you or something, then at least make it a little more comfortable for everybody so it can be a more casual thing.
Yeah.
But also with your avalanche point of things just spiraling downward, things build up as well. Like with the trust and with it just, like if you have honesty and you have trust, it just builds more awesome things and more awesome things. And the more you tell, even if the stuff you're telling is hard to tell and the other person might not like it, once that is worked through, it builds better problem solving skills, better communication skills, and there's nothing negative from it, I don't think, because...
Well, there can be if two things are fundamentally different from each other's point of view, where if I told you something that was inexcusable or something like...
But then again, good to know, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So... Yeah.
I'm just glad we're honest.
Yeah, me too. But, yeah, so I don't know, some people, if you're not honest with each other, or you haven't been practicing being honest with each other, or you've kind of little white lies here and there, or you don't want to step on each other's toes, because I think you also need to move away from being worried to say something for based on the other person's reaction. I don't think that's a healthy thing to have.
No.
Either.
Even though we're together, you should still be able to be your own person.
Yeah.
Like, just because you might not like it doesn't mean I should hide it, because that's unhealthy for both of us.
Yeah, and I don't have to like what you do. You don't have to like what I do, as long as they're not...
As long as you're accepting of each other, and you can look past those things to the things that are important and the things you love about each other.
And as long accepting in everything, even when you're coming to somebody to your partner with a problem or with something you want to admit, you have to be gentle with your reaction, no matter what it is. You just have to be prepared. You just act from love, in all aspects, anger, anything. Like, you just, even if they're telling you something awful, like, you love this person no matter what, even you can still be angry or upset with them and still love them. So maybe, because that can make people shut off to you too, if they're like, I don't want to tell you this thing, because then you're just going to freak out, and then I'm going to have to deal with your freak out, and it's just going to blow up the whole situation. Like, you have to sit down, and even if you can't have that conversation yet about admitting something, you can at least sit down and be like, look, I feel this way about coming to you because of your reaction or because of this, and then that just helps, and then slowly you can start building on and adding those admittances, or you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do know what you mean.
Good. Yeah, but I think
that's about it.
we covered everything for this.
Pretty sure?
Yeah, we are literally honest about everything with each other. I don't think, I have a harder time working through trust things just because of my past and things that have happened with my life, but we kind of balance each other out in really good ways. Like,
I'm the most open person imaginable.
And he's encouraging. He's never, condescending with me. He never makes me feel like I'm unworthy or insecure or that this is stupid. So even though I have a hard time getting it out. I'll always tell him, but sometimes I have a hard time finding my way to tell him. Or, it just has a hard time coming out.
Yes.
Yeah, but eventually it does, and he's really great with them. And you learn how to work with the other
Communicate
person.
really well too.
And you learn how to help that other person say what they need to say or get through what they need to do, because you start to learn how that person processes things, processes information, processes all the emotions, and you learn, because it's not about you.
Yeah. It's about us.
But then sometimes it is about.
Sometimes it is about me.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Oh, me.
You too, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it?
I think that's it. Is there...
No, that's it.
So yeah, if you want to talk a little bit about honesty and trust, you can feel free to have a chat with us about it, and that way we can maybe answer them in the beginning of, or like, if there's a conversation flowing, we can either both comment
Address
or address it in the beginning of the next video or whatever. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it for now. So, on to next week, I guess.
Yeah.
Alrighty, see you guys next week.
Bye.